This is Bullseye, your show for the latest scores and news from the Silver Cup champion North Iowa Bulls. And now, here is your host, the voice of the Bulls, Alvin Washington.
Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to the inaugural in-season edition of Bullseye, where we cap the week in North Iowa Bulls hockey. I'm Alvin Washington. With me is the coach of the North Iowa Bulls, Todd Sanden. Coach, welcome back.
How you doing, Alvin? Good to be here.
I tell you, everybody all across North, Central Iowa, South Central Minnesota is hopping at the bit to see the red, white, and blue back here at the North Iowa Event Center, try for another shot at the Silver Cup. But, of course, it starts here in preseason, and we just had our first series on the road at Janesville, Wisconsin. The NAHL's Janesville Kids gave us a pretty good idea of what the upper levels of junior hockey here in the country were all about with a couple of losses.
Well, you look at going into playing North American League teams, you hope to do well and would think that you might have a chance of winning, but you look at, their teams are so much deeper than ours at this point, for sure. We just want to go out there and get a good look at our guys in the preseason, kind of gauge what we have against very good competition.
Going back to the draft in June, we picked up a lot of brand new forwards considering what we've lost from last year's Silver Cup champs and 3 110-point scorers that have now gone on to college. And one of the more promising tandems that we've seen as of late have been the Johnston twins, Zach and Travis out of Monona Grove, Wisconsin. They scored a goal during the course of the series, and their work together, they've been that way ever since they've been kids. You definitely see the chemistry between them.
They were probably setting up backdoor plays in the womb. I mean, they just have an uncanny knack of knowing where each other are.
Also, we saw one of the speediest young forwards to hit the program in Japanese national Kohei Sato, whose dad played professional hockey back in his native Japan. And from what I've seen and what the fans have seen up close, this kid is the real deal.
Yeah, Kohei has unbelievable speed, and he's got top end speed, and he's got the quick burst speed, which, we build our team around speed and offensive capabilities. Kohei certainly is blessed in all departments there.
Back on the blue line, if there's a pretty good, solid foundation, it's definitely Joe Clevin, the second-year man who comes back with us. He's I believe he's a 95er, and his leadership right now in leading the young defenseman, especially fan favorite Adam Orn from the preseason camp that we had in Minnesota. I tell you, Adam Orn is fitting right in on the blue line.
Yeah, I think you look at our decor right now at 10 guys, and everybody skates very well. We certainly are going to look to the leadership of a guy like Joe Clevin to kind of bring some of these younger guys along. And that's why we have the 7 exhibition games, too. It gives everybody a lot of opportunities to get out there, learn by making a few mistakes, or learn by having some success, figure out what you can get away with and what's going to help you be successful here.
And then when we go in between the pipes, we got 3 very capable gentlemen. Of course, Jordan Moran from last year's team, a very capable 7-0 record. He saw some time at the NA level. And 2 very good youngsters in Tommy Algren, we saw in action this week. David Johnson from Bloomington, Minnesota. We'll see him this week in the upcoming Topeka series. And David Johnston even impressed at the preseason camp.
Yeah, you look at where we're at with our goaltenders. They're certainly battling for that number 1 job right now, and we don't make a declaration. We kind of let the kids sort it out. So you look at giving them each a start, and probably roll through the next 5 or 6 exhibition games. Just let them get starts, kind of get their feet underneath them, and get a feel for what they're capable of.
As we stay here in preseason, we're looking forward to the series against the Topeka Capitals. They, like the North Iowa Bulls, division champions. And oddly enough, they're only 1 year old and with a 33-win record. That's pretty impressive in this particular league.
Yeah, that's why we put them on our exhibition schedule. I mean, we don't want to play any cupcakes. We want to get out there and play the top teams in our league. And it's nice. They're close to us. It's probably an opportunity for a rivalry there at some point with us going down there this year. They came up here for some exhibition games last year, so I think it's something we want to keep going for the future.
considering that the league has now expanded to 31 teams across 5 divisions, with the addition of some teams that have now made a very viable South Division, and then you bring the Old America West League over for now what is the Frontier Division, it is going to be very important that North Iowa gets out of the gate early once we go to Twin Cities on September 20th.
Yeah, that's our goal every year, but looking at what we have this year, it's a very young team, so we certainly want to temper our early season excitement with realistic expectation and just make sure we go on and compete hard on them first few weekends.
As always, we thank Coach Todd Sanden of the North Iowa Bulls joining us. I'm Alvin Washington, and this is Bullseye on the Bulls Media Network.